Hello again, everybody, and welcome to Paulsboro High School. It's the South Jersey Group 1 Championship. I'm Jack Hibbard along with Marc Narducci. Gloucester taking on Paulsboro this afternoon. We're glad you're with us. You wouldn't know it by the temperature, but we have arrived at the last day of the football season here in South Jersey. 70 degrees outside, and we're looking forward to a terrific ball game. The opening kickoff underway. It goes to Vince Londino, an outstanding return man for Gloucester, but he won't have a chance to get this one back. And here comes Gloucester on offense to start things. They're led, of course, by number 10 this afternoon, which is Keith O'Donnell, the junior quarterback. O'Donnell got a little nicked up in last week's ball game, but he's back and ready to go this afternoon.
Yeah, Jack, he's passed for 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. The thing is, Gloucester does not have to want to put the ball up in the air a lot. They want to take a lot of time-consuming drives, so Mike Blankenship will be the obvious key.
Blankenship, the outstanding runner this afternoon, leading all South Jersey in rushing yards, and just 80 away, now under 80 away, for the 2,000 mark. Here is that starting lineup for Gloucester this afternoon. O'Donnell at quarterback, and we mentioned Blankenship. Chiotti is also back there at fullback. The wide receivers, Perry and Hillman. The tight end is Zierfuss. Up front, it's Souter, Ferry, Horenza, O'Brien, and Hagan for the Lions here this afternoon. We'll give you the defense in just a moment. It's second down and 9. They'll go to the air, a rare occurrence for this Gloucester team, and have a first down. Out across the 30-yard line. Let's take a look at that Red Raider defense. By the way, Paulsboro won the toss, elected to put this defense on the field as they deferred. It's Beverly and Cullen along with Damask and Curl up front. Petruzzi also at end. The linebackers Redmond, Garin, and in the backfield it's Sharper, Giles, DiTono, and there's the starting lineup for the Red Raiders. Blankenship with a carry here and good for another couple of yards. This is the thing that you'd expect out of Gloucester today. Blankenship, Marc, carrying the ball upwards of 30 times a ball game, and he needs to be successful if the Lions are going to have a chance today.
Absolutely, and I don't know if that's a good matchup because Paulsboro is one of the better defensive lines around. Very active linebackers, Garin. Redmond is healthy now, so he's playing a lot of defense as well.
By the way, the outstanding end, Mendenhall, not in the starting lineup for the Red Raiders. He had knee surgery a couple of weeks ago, has been fitted for a brace. Pass attempt on second down and thrown behind that time, the intended receiver. And it'll be third down.
Well, already, Jack, we've seen some different things. They put Mike Blankenship in motion. Of course, he came into today with 1,921 yards. He's the all-time leading rusher at Gloucester, beat Gus Hodson's record that was set in 90 of 1914, and he's trying to become the first ever running back from Camden County, Jack, to get 2,000 yards in a season, and they've had 2 Heisman Trophy winners, Ron Dane, Mike Rozier.
3rd and 7 already, the third pass attempt, but this time O'Donnell will take off with it. He's going to be shy of the first down as he takes a big hit across the 35 and is tackled at the 36-yard line.
Billy Damas is, again, I think one of the more underrated linemen that you'll see, and you see O'Donnell going back there, and number 50 for Paulsboro. And there you see Redmond as well with his speed coming up there, chasing him. Jack, on paper, you'd have to say Paulsboro is probably a 3-touchdown favorite, but of course, that's why they play these games.
Well, after picking up a first down, the Lions will have to punt it away, and the punt is blocked. Picked up on the play there by Eric DiTono, and they'll have great field position for their opening offensive set. The Red Raiders in business.
Looked like David Giles in there, number 10, blocking the punt. Now, they blocked 4 last week against West Deptford, so the special teams have really done the job for this Paulsboro team.
DiTono with the recovery, and the Red Raiders are in business with terrific field position just outside the 30-yard line. There's a look at James Funk, the senior quarterback of this powerful Red Raiders offensive team. They're averaging over 40 points a game offensively. Well, they've only given up 8 all season long. After a full house set, they go to the straight eye formation and give it to Isaac Redmond. Redmond, of course, another outstanding running back and he is shaken up on the first play. And what a loss that would be for Paulsboro. Funk, of course, the quarterback. We mentioned Redmond, who came in with over 1,200 yards. Beverly's the fullback. The wide receivers, Revels and Giles. The tight end is Conquest, getting the start for Mendenhall today. Elam, Garin, Damask, Curl, and Herzberg. An outstanding front line for the Red Raiders.
And I still think Redmond's the most indispensable player. We saw in game 1 when he got hurt against Woodbury, it changed things.
Well, he's right back on his feet and right back carrying the ball through traffic and across the 30-yard line to the 28. Shy of the first down by about 5 yards.
Again, we talked about the defensive line of Paulsboro. The offensive line is tremendous too.
That's the Paulsboro defense, which we saw moments ago. We'll give you the Gloucester defense momentarily. 3rd and 5 for the Red Raiders. They split the backs out of the eye on this important 3rd down for Paulsboro. A blitz on the play, but they get the ball away, dumping it off to the backup tight end, Gary Conquest, and that'll be good enough for a Red Raiders first down.
Well, James Funk has really been playing well recently. He had 2 touchdown passes last week against West Deptford as you look at the Gloucester defense, Jack.
Hagen and Hartzell are the guards, the ends Keefe and Zierfoss, the linebacking crew King, Lope, and Chiotti along with Green. In the backfield it's James, Jonathan King, and Londino. 1st and 10 for Paulsboro. A little delay give to Redmond, and he's caught in the backfield. Quickly in to make the stop was Pat Hagen for Gloucester.
It's interesting because I think Pat Hagen's one of the best offensive centers in South Jersey. But watch 54 there, splitting the gap and coming right in on Redmond. And you have to get Redmond early because, Jack, he can break a lot of tackles. 1,250 yards this year, and he has 27 total touchdowns.
Loss of 5 on the play back to the 21-yard line. Put the fullback in the slot. Redmond gets the pitch. Redmond had 1 tackle to beat and couldn't do it. Nice play defensively by Vince Londino, who comes up to make a great tackle.
Well, Londino last week against Gloucester got hurt his shin early in the first quarter, couldn't come back in the game, and that really, really hurt them. They had a good block there on Welsh. Londino out on the island there making the one-on-one tackle, but when he was not in the lineup, it not only hurt the return game, as you mentioned, he's one of the better return men around, it really hurt them defensively.
So 3rd down and 9 now. Uncle looked to throw. He's under pressure, comes across the middle, and all of a sudden wide open and running with the football is David Giles. He'll score. Boy, Giles was really in a lot of traffic, but somehow got an opening and got to the end zone. First points of the day for Paulsboro.
Wow, Giles has really been hot. He had the 2 touchdowns last week against West Deptford. That's his 6th touchdown reception of the year. He got a great block from Zach Garin on that play, the guard, number 51.
So the extra point upcoming, and Funk will do the honors. The kick is up, but it is no good. Sails wide to the left. Funk, a pretty accomplished kicker, but he misses the extra point attempt there. But nevertheless, Paulsboro jumps out in the lead. 6:40 to go here, and here's another look at the touchdown.
Well, here's the delay here as Hagen was coming right in on there. Now watch 51 right there on that block. Just got a little piece. And that was enough. And Giles, a very, very elusive guy. He came into the game, Jack, 27 receptions, 488 yards. You don't hear a lot about him because this is mainly a run-oriented offense, but he's certainly been making some big plays.
There it is, 6 plays, 34 yards after the block punt. Took just 2:58 off the clock, and Paulsboro with a 6-0 lead. Well, Mark, you go back even to the opening coin toss and say now that really worked into the favor of Paulsboro. Remember, they won the toss, deferred their choice to the second half. Gloucester chose to receive, picks up 1 first down. The punt is blocked and only 34 yards for Paulsboro.
Besides being the defending South Jersey Group 1 champ, Jack, and winners of 22 in a row, Paulsboro's had 12 sectional titles since the advent of playoffs in 75. Gloucester's still looking for its first. And, of course, The last time these two teams met, it was Paulsboro 50-0 in '95 in the South Jersey Group 1 final.
Well, the 3 previous times these teams have met, the honors have gone to Paulsboro. They're off to a good start here. 6-0 Red Raiders. After the long kickoff, the Lions will once again start on the 20-yard line, and off and running with the football on first down is Michael Blankenship, and Blankenship with a big gain out across the 25 to the 27-yard line.
Blankenship's one of the best cutback runners in South Jersey. You'll see him gain a lot of his yards that way. And I'll tell you, that was a very good tackle by DeTono that time, or Blankenship could have had even more. And look at Gloucester hurrying things up here.
Blankenship came in averaging almost 9 yards a carry in this season. Marc mentioned knocking on the door of 2,000. But Redmond has something to say about that run as he comes in and gets Blankenship before he can get off.
I think Isaac Redmond is a great linebacker. Remember in the opening game against Woodbury, Jack, he hurt his ankle and he wasn't playing defense for a while as they were just using him on offense. But again, only a junior, but I think at the next level he could be successful on either side of the ball.
No gain that time, so it's 3rd and 3. Donald looks things over for the Lions. Plenty of time. He goes to the outside and well overthrows Scott Hillman, who also was well covered.
Yeah, tremendous coverage by David Giles that time, as Hillman was doing a deep out that time, but Giles right on him.
So another 1, 2, 3 and out. Well, actually the first 1, 2, 3 and out. They did pick up a first down in their first possession, but this possession goes very quickly, and so the Lions in white will have to punt it away once again, and punting into a pretty stiff breeze. Almost blocked again, and I'm not sure they didn't get a piece of it. It'll take a Lions bounce going across the midfield stripe and being down at the 49-yard line, but again, Paulsboro operating with a short field.
Eric DeTono that time almost got it. There's Mike Mendenhall. He had arthroscopic knee surgery a couple of years ago. He's dressing today, but you know, he's one of the best wrestlers in the state, Jack, and I don't think if they need to use him, I don't know if he's going to play today.
Yeah, just 2 weeks ago, that surgery, so you'd have to think that you don't want to risk the kid's future. I know his heart is on this field today, but so far they haven't needed him. They lead it 6-0 and are in good shape again with a first down right at midfield. Backs in the eye, receivers split left and right on first down. They'll give it to the fullback this time. First carry for Beverly of the day, and it actually goes backwards a yard.
Yeah, Sean Green did an outstanding job, number 72, just stuffing things up right there. And again, Beverly doesn't get a lot of carries. Came into today with 77 on the season, but they like to give it to him sort of like a change of pace guy.
2nd and 11. They'll give it to him again, and off and running is Beverly. This time, much better results as he's deep into Gloucester territory at the 35-yard line.
Well, again, Londino, and we said how vital he is to that team. If he doesn't make that shoestring tackle, Beverly's off.
Oh, the Paulsboro Red Raiders convert another critical third down, and here's Redmond with a carry, a pickup of 4 to the 31. Tackle made by Chad Zierfoss.
And that's the thing, you've really got to get, as he slipped that time you saw Redmond, you've got to get him early, Jack, because I think his upper body, he's really strong and shrugs off a lot of tackles. 5'11", 194. There you see Glenn Howard, 138 wins. For Paulsboro. What a record he has, 138 and 22.
Beverly, the fullback, gets around the end, but cannot get away from the pursuit of James Funk. Funk, of course, the quarterback at Gloucester, also showing his defensive prowess there.
Yeah, Funk kind of does it all. He's also a good kicker, even though he missed that extra point. But Gloucester doing a nice job of stringing things outside with this Paulsboro speed.
Just 2 yards on that carry, so 3rd and 4 for the Red Raiders. They have been pretty efficient in converting 3rd downs early in this ball game. And now they'll take a timeout, the first timeout here of the first half. Well, Marc mentioned the outstanding playoff record of these Red Raiders. They are used to championships here. This team owned the 90s in terms of 6 out of those 10 years. The championship went to Paulsboro, and they're trying to do it again here in this decade.
I think Glenn Howard, the gentleman you just saw there, is obviously going to go down as one of the great coaches in South Jersey history. I mean, what he's done, they already set the state record with that 63-game winning streak. Now they have another one at 22, Jack, and nobody prepares more for a team. And it's interesting, he doesn't like to scout a lot in person. He loves to scout off of film, and he does it forever. We used to call him one of the bright young coaches, but this is his 15th year now. It's interesting. He and Leon Harris both came in the same time. Now, Paulsboro had a winning tradition. Gloucester, on the other hand, had 10 straight losing seasons. Since Leon's been there, they have not had one losing season.
And all this guy has done is has compiled a 114, 38, and 2 record. So he's done a terrific job there, too. All right, another big 3rd down for the Red Raiders. 3rd and 4. O'Donnell looks it over. Late pitch to Redmond. He's got a block out front, and he's got the first down. Well, when you get blocks in front of you like this, not to take anything away from Redmond, he's an outstanding runner, but Marc, a block like this is worth 5 or 6 yards by itself.
How about Beverly, too? And Funk did a good job holding on to that at the last second. Look at Beverly 5, staying on his block that time, and that really opened things up for Redmond.
Another 3rd down conversion for Paulsboro. This time they send 2 wide receivers to the right side. On the eye, they'll give it to Beverly. He's got a hole, 1 man to beat, but this one may come back. A flag is dropped on the play, the first penalty of the afternoon. Beverly's getting some holes, and it may be because the Lions keying on Redmond, but that was a decent run that'll be nullified by this call.
We have a holding on the offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
There you see our crew today, an experienced crew here in South Jersey led by Craig Daniels. Ball will go back to the 25-yard line.
Look at that cut that time. And Londino, again, one-on-one, he's a sure tackler as anyone you want to see. And as I said, they really missed him for most of the game against Gloucester.
So it's 1st and 20 now. Late hit on the quarterback, but after the pitch to Redmond, and Redmond breaks through traffic. Redmond scores from 25 yards away, and Paulsboro pads their lead.
I'll tell you, he got the score and he made a nice run, but you've got to give James Funk an assist because he was absolutely hammered by Robert Keefe, number 83 that time, on that option and pitched it at the last second. 28th touchdown of the year for Redmond.
See Glenn Howard there with a smile on his face. They are going to go for 2 after missing that first conversion. They're 2 out of 4 this year are the Red Raiders in 2-point conversions. There again is a late pitch to Redmond. Redmond's got the conversion and the 2 points. So with 2:28 to go here in the first quarter, a 6-play, 51-yard drive capped off by the 25-yard touchdown run from Isaac Redmond.
Look at that. There you saw Funk at the last second, and a nice job by Beverly on the block. Almost got caught on holding, and great cutback by Redmond. There you see him. Jack, by the way, coming into this game, Paulsboro had outscored teams 126-3 in the first quarter. They're at it again.
Yeah, they are. Using a short field in this first quarter. Just a 51-yard drive there, as you can see. The first drive was just 34 yards, but both have resulted in touchdowns. And Paulsboro with an early edge up on this South Jersey Group 1 championship. Here again, another look at the touchdown by Redmond.
Actually, that's a 2-point conversion.
Right.
You know what's interesting about that? For all that, he has 28 touchdowns. That's his first 2-point conversion all year.
Right.
Well, Funk obviously kicks a lot of the conversions.
As we mentioned, they had only attempted 4 other 2-point conversions this season. They're now 3 out of 5 with the 2 there and lead it 14-0. James Funk will get ready to kick it off. We mentioned Londino, the return man, an outstanding return guy, but he hasn't had a shot here yet today. This one will be carried by Eric Beauchamp, and Beauchamp's got some room in front of him and will give the Lions their best starting field position of the day as they get out across the 40-yard line to the 42.
Well, that's exactly what Gloucester needed, getting down by 2 touchdowns like this. Again, just goes to the right side. They set up the wedge, and he just gets to the outside that time. DeTono, usually a short tackler, missed one there, and then he cut back and got a few more yards. Gloucester can't abandon its game plan, Jack. It's still very early. I mean, you can't be seeing them passing every play here.
On first down, they'll give it to Blankenship. Blankenship runs in to a wall.
I think the heavyweight champion of the state, Tom Curl, introduced himself to Blankenship. Watch 68. Now you see why Curl's been an all-South Jersey performer.
Just a yard gain that time for Blankenship, who has 11 yards on 4 carries. Second down, little swing pass to Londino, who pays the price, taking a big hit after a very short gain.
Well, David Giles has been on his game. He scored the touchdown, was in on the block punt, and then did not let Londino get any kind of momentum.
Just a 2-yard pickup on that pass as Glenn Howard encourages his defense from the sideline. 3rd and 7. They'll have to throw again. I thought for a second he was going to get away from that. A late flag has been thrown in, so
might have been a face mask,
yeah,
Jack.
This may actually end up in a positive result for Gloucester. And I'll tell you, from the spot of the foul, Mark, if it is a personal foul face mask and a 15-yard penalty, it's going to be just enough for a first down. Here's the call from Greg Daniels.
Personal foul, face mask.
That's a big break for the Lions, who would have been forced to punt there. It looked like, and you called it, Mark, you could see sort of the head snap down. Not there, but right coming up.
Actually,
here.
I thought it was that first one, Jack.
Yeah, okay.
I thought that was.
Oh, at any rate, the Lions use the penalty to get the first down and are out near midfield. Blankenship hit the backfield, keeps the feet moving, and turns a negative gain into something positive. Getting inside the 45-yard line to about the 42. There you see, he was hit momentarily.
He never stops moving his legs. At 170, and I think that's a generous listing, he's as tough a kid as you'll see, pound for pound, in South Jersey.
They'll go right back to Blankenship, the workhorse. He gets hit in the backfield, still moving. Now reverses field, gets a block out front. And again, great individual effort from Mike Blankenship.
Hey, Jack, that block came from his quarterback, Keith O'Donnell. What a tremendous job by both Blankenship. We told you he's a cutback runner. He doesn't try to cut back this much. And watch number 10, his quarterback O'Donnell, boom, right there on Lionel Sharper, who's one of the top defensive backs in all of South Jersey.
Blankenship got out of bounds and stopped the clock with 2 seconds. Now it's third and very short. They show a full house backfield, go back to Blankenship, and I believe he's got enough for the first down as the first quarter comes to a close. It's been a good one, though, for the Red Raiders, seeking another championship and up 14-0. Second quarter action from Paulsboro. I'm Jack Hibbard along with Marc Narducci. It's 14-0. The Red Raiders in the lead. First down, they give it to Blankenship. He comes straight up the middle for a yard or two.
Jack, it's hard to believe that Blankenship is again running's tough on that play. Lost a little confidence last year. He had a little bit of fumbleitis, but he really worked hard in the offseason. As you see, Leon Harris trying to get his team to get something going offensively. Worked in the weight room, and he benches 245 pounds.
They'll play action to Blankenship this time and get the pass to the tight end. Cutting across was number 84, Chad Zierfoss. And a short gain for Zierfoss to the 30-yard line.
Interesting. They're doing some things they don't normally do. Zierfoss came into the game with just 2 receptions on the year, but Gloucester realizes it has to show some semblance of a passing game.
When you say something they don't usually do, I think you're just talking about passing in general, right?
Yeah, you're right.
They only fire it up about an average of 4 or 5 times a game. They've already thrown 5 times today. 3rd and 5. He'll look to throw again. Under pressure, gets it across the middle, almost intercepted, and the ball falls incomplete.
Preston Polson almost got that one that time, number 4. And that's the other thing, Jack. This is a very tough second, or excuse me, that was not Polson. That was actually Redmond. But with Polson and Lionel Sharper, I mean, leading that defensive backfield, this is a very difficult team to complete passes on.
Well, they'll probably try to complete one here again on 4th and 5, and this is a critical down for the Lions, already down 14-0. Man in motion. They'll go that way, and Londino was open for a second, but the pass was broken up very nicely by Zach Guerin.
And Jack, he's putting his hands on his helmet that time because he realizes had he held on to that thing, it would have been 6.
Yeah.
Zach Guerin, who's a great athlete, a terrific wrestler, ball a little bit behind him, would have been a tough play to get, but he covers a lot of ground from that linebacker spot.
So they'll turn it over on downs, and the Red Raiders will take it over with a 14-0 lead. This their worst starting field position of the ball game. 1st and 10 just across the 30. Here comes the reverse, but it's read very nicely that time by Jason King, who really keyed on Giles coming around the end.
And you know, if he had gotten by King, he had a lot of area. There you see him. No one blocked King. And again, that is just a great one-on-one tackle. And actually, Carl Revels, number 6 for Paulsboro, did a good job not making that block because he would have been called for a clip.
There's a look at Redmond, who already has 50 yards in this ball game, over 1,300 in the season, and he gets the call here, and he's off and running. Into the defensive secondary and around the corner. Redmond cuts it back the other way, still on his feet and knocked out a play. It looks like they're going to mark him back at the 50-yard line, but what a terrific effort by Isaac Redmond.
One of the things about Redmond is the fact that some of the other backs in South Jersey have maybe gotten more attention. Look at the great blocking, and again, for Paulsboro, Beverly's done a great job as a lead blocker, but Redmond's been as good as just about any back in South Jersey. He just doesn't have the number of carries. He was banged up a little bit early in the season, as we said. Look at those numbers.
Redmond off to a big day, and so are his teammates. Here's the swing pass out, and they need to pick up that football. No, they're going to say it's an incomplete pass. It looked like it was a forward pass, but you know what, Mark? As a receiver, you never want to just stand there and watch because you never know.
No. You want to go after it.
And there was a little delay there in the whistle for a second, and that's why I said they need to go get that ball, but you know, the officials made the right call.
There's Lionel Sharper, who
there you can see. He's
right.
2 yards ahead of him.
It was forward, but you're right.
2nd and 10 now.
They have Redmond in the slot here, Jack.
Makes for almost a trips right formation, and then they run to the weak side with Jerome Beverly, and that goes for a loss.
One of the times where Redmond's used as a decoy, and then they go the other side to Beverly, but Gloucester right there and doing a nice job as Beauchamp getting there first.
So 3rd and 10. And again, Redmond in the slot, 3 receivers to the right side. Funk will look that way. He's got time. Fires it out. The ball is tipped away. They had a couple of receivers open behind James, but he leaps up and makes the tip to make sure that ball doesn't get caught.
Not only behind James were they open, I thought Redmond was open underneath as well. But that time, Ian James making a good athletic play that time. There you saw Sharper was right there.
I'll tell you, if Sharper's 3 yards deep, deeper than where he was, he still comes up with that catch. Nice play, though, by Ian James. First time that the Red Raiders have had to punt today. See if they punt it away from Londino. It's straight up in the air and into the wind. A short punt that will take a bounce at the 25. And it takes a Paulsboro bounce inside the 20. It'll be down at the 17-yard line. So 8:54 to go here in the half. Paulsboro stopped defensively by Gloucester, but they lead it 14-0 as they send their own defense out on the field.
I thought that was obviously a critical stop by Gloucester that time. Paulsboro with great field position. Gloucester just has to prove it can move the ball on this Paulsboro defense. Allowing just 8.8 points a game, Jack. And even that's misleading. We'll get to that in a second.
On first down, Blankenship again cutting back. But I'll tell you what, it's hard to get away from Big Curl, along with Paul Painter in there to make the stop.
Yep, he loves to cut back. Beverly there as well.
Did pick up 2 yards. It's 2nd and 8. Blankenship with 28 yards on 9 carries. Again, came in needing 79 to reach that 2,000 mark. He gets the call again. Again, when he cuts back, he gets popped and the ball comes loose. But it looks like they're signaling that the Lions have recovered the fumble.
Oh, Zach Guerin was right in there again. Guerin and Redmond are 2 very active linebackers in there. There you see Guerin made the hit that time and popped it loose. One of the linemen, as you saw there, Jack recovered.
But again, it looks like the Lions will be faced into a passing situation. O'Donnell just 2 of 7 so far in the early going. They'll send 2 receivers to the left side, put Blankenship in motion, and come with a fullback straight ahead who will be tackled well shy of the first down. So they elect not to pass that time, and we'll have to punt it away.
Well, Chiote's a good fullback. He's averaging 4.4 a carry. He had both the touchdowns in the win over Gloucester, in the tournament win over Gloucester, so he can get the job done. I thought it was at least a good idea, a good change of pace there. But, of course, Paulsboro read it well.
Redmond, the lone man back to receive. Gloucester's had a couple blocked. They get another one blocked, and this one is returned for a touchdown. And once again, it is Eric DiTano with the recovery, and this time the score.
Again, it looked like Giles in there on that block again. Now that's 6 block punts in the last 2 weeks.
And, you know, coming in, the Lions had to know that this would be a concern, but they are right now just stumped. I mean, all 3 punts that they've made today, they've either gotten a piece of or blocked, and you got to figure out a way to stop this, because this special teams play has contributed in a big way now to what is a 3-touchdown lead for the Red Raiders. Extra point attempt is up, And this one is good. So with 7:04 to go here till the break, now 21-0 Paulsboro, and again, it's the special teams that have been very special so far in this South Jersey Group 1 championship.
All facets of the game really working here for the Red Raiders. I thought that was Giles again on that block punt, as you see Funk there getting ready to kick off. He's been a little busy, hasn't he, today?
Yeah, pretty much does it all for this Paulsboro team.
And Funk and Curl and a number of the other people will just suit it up for the wrestling team coming up. And once again, they'll be one of the better programs in the state.
There's Beverly getting a little break on the sideline. Funk getting ready to kick it away for the Red Raiders, who now lead it 21-0.
What a game Giles has had, hasn't he? Been in on those 2 punts, had the 1 touchdown.
And Mark, I don't know if that second one was officially blocked. I mean, it was awful close. It wasn't a good punt, but, you know, Gloucester's really been hurt so far by mistakes they've made punting. They kick it away from Londino, and the kickoff goes off the hands this time of Beauchamp, and again, the Lions will have to start on their own 20-yard line. Gloucester's average starting field position has been their own 24 today. Paulsboro starting at an average at the 49, so quite a difference. And that short field has contributed as much as anything else has here. There's a look at O'Donnell getting ready to come into the ball game. He's waiting for the play from the sideline. And I don't know, I think there may be a penalty on the play. Let's see if we can.
The ball is in the air. The penalty is declined. We have a touchback, first down.
So they do let the penalty go. That is, Paulsboro declines and will play defense with the Lions starting on the 20-yard line. Paulsboro, of course, has won 4 titles. Gloucester has won 4 titles, Mark, but none in the modern era of the playoffs. Not since 1970 have they won a title. And interestingly enough, Leon Harris was the quarterback of that championship team.
He used to own the South Jersey record for touchdown passes. He threw 45 in his career.
Blankenship, they'll try to get him going off the pitch, but great pursuit by that Red Raider defense, led that time by Zach Guerin.
Well, what you saw was this is a well-scouted team. They know Blankenship likes to cut back, so they're not going to let him do it. I mean, it's as simple as that. See, he's looking for the cutback there. There was Protrude's 34. Redmond was also there. And then Guerin making the tackle.
Loses a yard that time. As that was really well.
And that's when he's most dangerous. So if you don't obviously allow him to do it, you cut down his efficiency.
Go the other way this time on the carry. And again, he looks to cut back. And again, no place to go. Well, I'll tell you something, Mark. If you bottle up this guy, there's not a lot left for Gloucester.
Well, the other thing is, look who's chasing him. He may not have made the tackle, but look at 68 Tom Curl. Right there, Jack. He's stringing that play out, giving his teammates a chance to come in there and make it. That's a 270-pounder running almost side by side with Blankenship.
And that was a pretty good look at a lot of white shirts standing around that time rather than trying to get out front of Mike Blankenship. You see, it's been a tough go so far. On the eye, O'Donnell will look to throw this time. Going over the top, he floats it up, and it's nearly picked off. Probably would have been caught by Carl Revels out there had he not been run into by his own teammate. Giles and Revels with a little collision, and the ball comes loose. Not a well-thrown ball here. Into the wind, you can see just floating up.
May have actually timed his jump a little too early that time, threw off his timing.
So here we go again. This has been an adventure. I think if I'm Beauchamp, I take a couple of yards back.
Yes, they're really too close to that line of scrimmage, Jack.
He does get the punt away. Redmond lost his footing, so he won't get to return it, and the ball will be down at midfield. We've got 5:24 to go in the half. It's 21-0 Paulsboro. Again, the Red Raiders with a short field. They start just on the other side of the 50 at the 49 of Gloucester, leading it by 3 touchdowns. Redmond hit in the backfield and dropped right there. Boy, terrific defensive play that time by Pat Hagan. We've called his name a couple of times today, and he was in on Redmond in a hurry.
Pat Hagan just ran right through. That time Beverly, the lead blocker, never saw him.
I was going to ask you, Mark, if anybody blocked Hagan that time. Loss of 4 on the play, 2nd and 14. This time Beverly is the lone back. 3 receivers to the right side, including Redmond, who gets the pass. Has got some green grass in front of him. Redmond across midfield to the 40-yard line, inside the 40. And I think he may have it up for a first down. He's lined up a couple of times today on the slot, Mark, and this time he gets it.
Watch 6 Rebels put the block right there. You see him in the back of your screen. That gives them some more room, and of course Redmond doesn't need a whole lot of room, but
and I'll tell you, Mark, again, if Londino doesn't make a nice shoestring tackle there, that goes for a lot more. Measurement now as they call for the chains. As I said, it's very close, and as you can see, just a couple of links shy. It'll be 3rd down, but it's just 3rd and inches. There you see it. They needed to get to the 39-yard line, and they are very close. Of course, Paulsboro's been pretty efficient this afternoon in completing 3rd down conversions, 3 of 4 so far on the day.
this is where they like to use Beverly too.
Well, they're going to pass on 3rd and a couple of inches. The ball comes loose, and the Lions have it back. Well, they lined up with that, in essence, Mark, trips right formation with Redmond in the slot as a receiver, Beverly the lone back, and here's a great defensive play.
It really was. Jason King's the one that will hit him this time on the play. And Jack, I believe that was Keefe on the recovery, number 83. But Jason King making the play.
Let's see if the turnover can inspire the Lions, who again have not been blessed with pretty good field position, but this time they'll start on the Paulsboro side of the field. For the 49, it's 1st and 10. O'Donnell to Blankenship. This time he gets good forward progress to about the 45. There's Mike Blankenship, as we mentioned, came in with over 1,900 yards. And up until last week, Mark had a real good shot at the South Jersey scoring record for touchdowns in a season, now held by Wally Lundy, who had 4 touchdowns last week for Holy Cross to now own that record. Blankenship again with the carry inside the 45, gets near the 40, but is shoved backwards that time by Eric DiTanto, and DiTanto's kept Blankenship from getting a first down.
Well, that's a nice job because Zach Aaron was right there to make the tackle, 51, and Blankenship just shrugged him off. See, he was looking to cut outside. He was contained by Sharper, had to go back inside.
He does come up a yard shy of the first down, so big 3rd down here for Gloucester. Clock is running. We're nearing the 3-minute mark here of the 2nd quarter. Again, Blankenship. He's got room this time over the left side. Breaks the tackle, and Blankenship is down the sideline. Caught by Redmond just inside the 10-yard line.
So they're playing for a tight formation to go inside, and Gloucester instead goes outside. Great block by Londino, number 1. And then watch him go, and a lot of times he makes this, but look at Redmond making up the ground on him with his speed.
But a 1st and goal for the Lions nevertheless. The ball just inside the 10-yard line. 31-yard pickup for Mike Blankenship, who now has 65 yards in the game. Same formation. This time they go right side, and Blankenship scurries inside the 5.
I'll tell you what, they've brought Londino in there, and he, number one, is making some absolutely punishing blocks as Beverly's down on the ground right now.
That, too, would be a critical loss. Although it's hard to tell from that where Beverly got nicked, but he is obviously in some pain. They mark the run to the 5, so it'll be 2nd and goal from there, but the immediate concern right now is for Jerome Beverly.
There are a lot of people on this Paulsboro team that maybe don't get the publicity as you get a look at Blankenship there. And Beverly's one of them, really an unsung player. We talked about Giles, Detono. A lot of outstanding role players who maybe in other teams would shine even more, but are certainly willing to contribute to this great team effort.
Blankenship now just 10 yards away. There's a look at what is a terrific crowd here this afternoon.
Well, you have two schools that are about as passionate about their football teams as any in South Jersey.
And Mark, you were getting a view there of some of the folks standing around. I mean, the bleachers are packed here this afternoon, and in some cases, the crowd 2 and 3 deep at the fence. I know you've had your calculator out just trying to make some calculations on the crowd size here today.
Hey, how about the weather? 75.2 degrees today, Jack? December 1st?
Pretty incredible. And, of course, that has only enhanced the gate here today. Yeah, we've done a few chilly December games. December has been a chilly month for this Gloucester Township team. They have not won a game in their history in December. They're 0-4. A lot of red here today, but as you can see, a terrific display of red, white, and blue, and the patriotism at Paulsboro here. Well, Beverly is going to be helped to the sideline, but there's another look at the huge crowd as they await things here. Beverly, as you can see, not putting any weight at all on that right foot. And that's not a good sign for Paulsboro. Back to the business at hand for the Lions. 2nd and goal from the 5. In the I formation, Londino again will set up as a blocker. And Blankenship is hit again. And once again, it's Zach Guerin who puts the lick on the running back from Gloucester.
Well, Guerin's saying, you know, you broke the tackle last time. I'm not going to let you out of my grasp this time.
Well, and to show you the strength, Mark, he really only had about half of his body free to make that hit initially. And he still sent Blankenship backward. We've got a timeout now called by the Lions, who want to talk things over on this critical 3rd down. Of course, they'll have 2 downs to get in, and I think down 21-0, that's exactly what they do, but they want to talk about this 3rd down. Watch the play here by Guerin. See, he's being hung up a little bit, and he does break free.
He was way behind everybody and closed very quickly.
Now, you've mentioned it many times as you take a look at the timeouts remaining for both teams, Mark, but you've often used the phrase holding your block, and Guerin was blocked initially, but the man doing the blocking at the time did not hold the block, and he got free of it and then makes a big play.
And Guerin at 195 really moves well.
Now this Paulsboro team, as Mark mentioned, seeking yet another championship. That would be their 13th. In the decades of the 90s, we talked about this earlier, Paulsboro won more than any other South Jersey team. Mark referred to that outstanding winning streak, and again, a 22-game winning streak on the line here. And by the way, they have an opportunity to do something that no Paulsboro team, though, has ever done, and that's go 12-0 in a season.
Right, now that's a little misleading in the fact that teams didn't start playing 12 games till 98.
So you're saying they would have been, of course.
In many other years.
Again, same full house formation with Londino going slightly in motion. This time the play action pass off, and O'Donnell's got some room in front of him, but he cannot get around the corner as Redmond, with good pursuit, runs him out of play. Boy, Redmond has shown his speed not only offensively, Mark, but a couple of times in this series now defensively.
Well, he saved the touchdown by getting Blankenship. I thought O'Donnell had a chance to run, but I thought he hesitated and then let them string it out a little bit. I thought if he would have turned it up sooner, he might have been able to make some positive yards.
So it's 4th down now and goal from the 4-yard line. 3 plays and only 5 yards in this series.
Hillman is a very tough receiver if they can try to get him the ball on the outside.
A little bit of confusion defensively for Paulsboro. Now O'Donnell gets it away and it's picked off. Look out, coming the other way is Giles, and he's got room. Giles down the sideline. This could be a 100-yard return to the 35, the 25, and Giles will go the distance. No flags on the play, or is there one? There is one now, dropped back at the 25-yard line. So that's going to wipe out a terrific effort by Giles. The crowd, you can hear it, doesn't like it.
Wait a minute, Jack.
You think it might go the other way?
Well, I don't know if it's a clip or a personal foul. Let's just wait and see.
Well, it may have been a dead ball foul. Let's wait for Craig Daniels. Here it is.
The touchdown is counts.
It is good.
We have unsportsmanlike after the score on the red. 15 yards.
So the extra point will be penalized. Here's another look.
Well,
102-yard return.
Yep. That ball just overthrown. He was going for Ian James. And how about Giles?
Now during our replay, a 35-yard extra point attempt by Funk is right through the crossbar. How about that? Mark, that would amount to his longest field goal of the year. Previously, he had hit one from 28. He gets an extra point from 35. It's not good for 3, just for 1, but Paulsboro now leads it 28-0. Terrific play by Giles, who's looking for some air, I think, at the moment. 102 yards on this pick.
I thought originally they were going to look for Hillman, but then they were going to the outside to James. And Sharper actually did a pretty good job on James, making sure he stayed down there. And then it's Giles running down that right sideline.
You know, Mark, we have seen a couple of really floated balls by O'Donnell, and that thing just needed to be zipped. It wasn't. It's only his 2nd interception of the year. Again, we mentioned they don't throw all that much at Gloucester. He had only attempted 47 passes coming in, but that one hurts. As you can see, Paulsboro adds to their lead, and the Red Raider fans continue to celebrate here at Paulsboro.
And that's the 3rd interception of the season for Giles. Jack, if you were going to talk about the keys to the game coming in, Giles probably wouldn't be in the top 5 of your list. And that shows you the kind of depth this Paulsboro team has.
Funk with a deep kickoff. Beauchamp will touch it in the end zone, and again, Gloucester has no opportunity for a return. They'll start on the 20. So just 1:38 remaining here in the first half. Funk getting a little time off the field, and the Lions will try it again. You know, we've said this often, Mark, sometimes stats misleading. How about this one? Gloucester 13 minutes and 14 seconds with the ball. Paulsboro only 8:44. But there's your score. 1st and 10 for the Lions. Little delay gift to Blankenship, and again, continuing a very strong day defensively is Zach Garrett.
Jack, they're not letting him cut back. I mean, that's his game, and they are just not letting him cut back. And as we said before, that's just great scouting and coaching. Realizing his strength and then taking it away.
He got a yard before he attempted to cut back. Clock continues to run. We're nearing on the last minute of play, as you can see.
I think if you're Gloucester, you keep it on the ground now. Go into halftime and somehow try to regroup.
Blankenship lined up as a receiver this time, and they'll come straight up the middle with Coyote. And Paulsboro, knowing now that Gloucester will be looking at a 3rd and long, will call a timeout. They have one remaining here in the first half. 51 seconds to go. There again is the effort by the fullback.
Jack, what I was saying about Paulsboro being misleading, allowing 8.8 points a game, a lot of those points were allowed when the game was well out of hand. For instance, they beat Lindenwold 63-14. Lindenwold got 14 points in the last quarter when the 2nd and 3rd stringers were well established. And same thing with Sterling. They beat them 25-6. Sterling scored in the 4th quarter after Paulsboro led 25-0. So that 8.8 is probably would be even more impressive if the first stringers were left in there.
So 51 seconds to go here till halftime. Paulsboro will try to make a stop here so they can get the ball back offensively. And they would still have one timeout to deal with. Lions split the backs out of the eye. O'Donnell looks things over. Quick step, quick to the outside, and they had a pretty good route that time, but the ball just a little out of the grasp of Ian James, who was trying to get behind the defense. Actually did, Mark, but the ball not on the money.
Well, Lionel Sharper was right there on the coverage. He's one of the best cover cornerbacks in all of South Jersey. 5 interceptions on the season, and he was there with James. And now again with Beauchamp back there. And I agree with what you said, Jack. I think he's got to go back a few extra yards on these punts.
Yeah, he is only 10 yards deep. And they've had big pressure. They got another one. Can you believe it? And another touchdown by the Red Raiders. This one picked up by David Giles. Giles and Dotato have been a disaster for Gloucester this afternoon. Another block punt return for a touchdown.
Nino Polmiani, number 44, gets it. Boy, and there's Giles having a career day today, isn't he?
The Lion fan, that's the Paulsboro stands, but the Lion fans have got to be wondering what in the world is going on with the punt team today. Funk for the extra point with 40 seconds to go. That one is no good. It misses the left post, but nevertheless, it's 34-0 Paulsboro. And another terrific effort by Giles. And you're right, Mark, he's having a big day. 102-yard return of an interception for a touchdown. Now the block punt and the touchdown.
Give him 10 yards on that return.
And, yeah, some smiles from Giles right now, and well-deserved. 34-0 Paulsboro. And really the story of this first half, Mark, has been the play of their special teams.
It's been everything.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of everything. You're right. I'll say this. The special team certainly has set up 3 of the scores that they've had. But, yeah, it's taken the offense to be able to put the ball in the end zone, and that's what they've done. Of course, 2 of the touchdowns, 1 on an interception, 1 on special teams. But, yeah, you're right. No matter how you look at it, it's all Paulsboro. 34-0 with just seconds remaining here in the half. Funk gets set to kick it away.
How many times do you get to score a touchdown 3 different ways in a game, the way Giles has done today? Well, Jack, we'll talk about this a lot in the second half. Paulsboro is trying to make an impression because Paulsboro wants to be the #1 team in South Jersey.
Well, they're making a statement in all phases so far. Beauchamp again can't come up with a kick. Again, it sails into the end zone. And again, the Lions will start on their 20.
Obviously, the key was Paulsboro calling that touchdown, or excuse me, calling that timeout.
Oh, yeah. And
just not yielding or giving up, using every second of this first half.
And Mark, that's really a credit to the coaching staff. I mean, how many times have we seen in games that we've done over the years just poor clock management? And you're right, they use a timeout there. They get the opportunity to make the stop, and then yet another punt block. In fact, Gloucester's punted, I think, 5 times today, and 4 of the 5 have either been blocked or affected. I mean, one way or the other. That one goes for a touchdown. Blankenship tries to cut back, runs into his own man, and falls down after a pickup of just a couple. And I think Gloucester hoping that Paulsboro won't use a timeout here and just let the time expire. We're inside of 25 seconds to go. The crowd here at Paulsboro rising to their feet in appreciation for a terrific half of football from their team here today. There's a look. Second down, they will run a play straight up the middle with Chiotti, and that'll do it for a long first half for Gloucester and a very successful first half for Paulsboro. 34-0 at the break. Stay tuned. We'll be back with second half action of this South Jersey Group 1 Championship in just a moment. Welcome back to the South Jersey Group 1 Championship at Paulsboro High School, and it's been all Paulsboro in this first half. I'm Jack Hibbard along with Marc Narducci, set for second half action. Gloucester kicking off, and they kick it out of play, so a flag will be thrown on this.
Well, Jack, in most instances, if I'm Paulsboro, I would want them to kick again, but up by 34, I would just take the ball on the 35.
Looks like that's what they're going to do, and James Funk, the quarterback, gets set to come back out. You can see his statistics here in the first half. Funk hasn't had to throw the ball a whole lot, that's for sure, as they've had a short field to work off of. Their special teams has been outstanding. And the Red Raiders leading it 34-0 as we get set for the start here now. First play from scrimmage of the second half. They'll line up in the I formation and put a couple of receivers at the top of your screen. Pitch to Redmond. Good block out front for Redmond. And Redmond is off and running, tiptoeing along the sideline. Still on his feet, and Redmond finally caught, but not before he gets to the 10-yard line. Well, Mark, you know, Eric Dottano has done a great job in special teams. Watch the block here, and this just springs Redmond.
Right, and I'll tell you what, they're down 34 points. Jack, watch 72, Sean Green. He's actually going to trip him up right there. There's a guy chasing the play down by 34. That's a pretty good play.
1st and 10 for the Red Raiders. They line up with 3 backs in a long eye. Now they split one out, putting Nelson in the slot and coming up the middle. The give was to Eric Dottano. Dottano, of course, in there and playing at fullback for the injured Jerome Beverly.
Yeah, they told us he had a strained MCL, which was a tough situation because he played a great first half.
Well, we're not expecting to see Beverly back in action here in the second half. Redmond with that run, well over 100 yards now, 127 for the game and averaging almost 13 a carry. He'll get it again here, and this time dancing through traffic. Probably should have been wrapped up in the backfield. It looked like Joe Lope had a great opportunity to drop him for a loss, but Redmond with a quick feet just kept right on going.
Jack, I think we're going to have a personal foul penalty here, unsportsmanlike conduct.
It is against Gloucester.
Dead ball, personal foul on the defense, half the distance, 3rd down.
So again, because they were inside the 10-yard line, they only get half the distance to the goal on that personal foul. There's a look at the effort by Redmond. And that'll place it inside the 5-yard line, 3rd and goal. Straight I formation. Tittle, the fullback. Redmond gets the call. Redmond with the hole, hat down, gets to the 1-yard line. Just shy of the score.
I don't think he's thinking of putting Funk. Funk could obviously make it from here with his foot, but it looks like they're going to go for it.
Not with a 34-0 lead. I think they will on 4th and goal. And you'd think they'd go back to the horse, but you never know. Again, the straight I formation. There it is, Redmond, and did he get in? No signal yet. And I believe that they're going to mark this just shy. I think Gloucester is held. Let's see.
Joe Lowe.
Oh, now they give it to him very late. The touchdown by Redmond is 29th of the year.
I was just going to say, Joe Lope, 32, did a good job of holding him up, but it was that surge forward I brought it in.
I'm not so sure it was a surge forward as when they unpiled everybody, he just happened to be over the goal line. The extra point attempt by Funk. And the route by Paulsboro continues. 9:25 to go here in the 3rd quarter. 41-0. The Red Raiders on top. Well, Mark, this is like deja vu, I think, for this Gloucester team. You mentioned they had lost all the previous meetings together, and of course the biggest beating they took was back in 1995 at a South Jersey Group 1 championship when they lost 50-0, and Paulsboro may be trying to one-up that today.
That was that Kevin Harvey team. There you see Beverly on the crutches there with the MCL strain, and he's had a heck of a year for that team. Obviously, Jack, I mean, I wonder if Paulsboro is now playing for the polls, as you see the drive summary there, and seeing if they can make a little impression, because Woodrow Wilson, #1, if Wilson beats Egg Harbor, they'll be the consensus #1 team in South Jersey. If not, then let the debate begin. Paulsboro ranked #2 in South Jersey by the Courier, ranked #4 by the Inquirer. And get that age-old debate about big school, small school.
No, I don't think it's a question about the small school Paulsboro earning it with a 12-0 record, as it appears it's going to be, but I think a lot of folks will debate the competition that they had here in this. There's no slight against Gloucester, but they certainly come from a weaker division. Beauchamp with problems. He's had problems on the return, and now we'll have to take it out of the end zone. Pretty good individual effort to get it outside the 10 when he had to pick it up at the 2. But again, as they have all day long, Gloucester really fighting field position here today. They've started most of their drives at the 20 or worse.
It's amazing that Paulsboro came so close to getting eliminated from the tournament, Jack. Having to tie Woodbury with a late touchdown in the 4th quarter in their tournament game to send it in overtime, and then winning 26-20 over the Thundering Herd.
I have a feeling for most of the players. That is a loose ball. That is a touchdown by Paulsboro. And again, it is Giles with a recovery and the score. Could anything else go wrong for this Lions team today? And what a day for Giles, Mark. It just continues, huh?
Somebody I heard say he better go play the lottery today. Now, a fourth different way that he has scored a touchdown today.
So Funk for the extra point. Again, he's been a busy guy. This one is good. 9:10 to go, and Paulsboro has added 2 touchdowns in the first 3 minutes of this second half to take a 48-0 lead.
I don't know if I've ever seen it. Four touchdowns coming on 4 different ways.
How about Giles? An interception return for a touchdown. That was only 102 yards, by the way. A punt return for a touchdown, a fumble recovery, and also a pass reception. You're right, 4 different ways into the end zone, but what a day for Giles.
Jack, I am one of these people, and if Paulsboro could win 90-0, I'm not going to be any more or less impressed. They're a better team than Gloucester, and a lot better team. So no matter what the margin of victory is, we know they're a good team. Now it's time for the pollsters to do their work.
Paulsboro, of course, representing the Colonial Conference. Gloucester coming out of the Tri-County. And the level of competition that these teams have faced this year, a little bit different, and I think that's obvious as they meet here in this South Jersey Group 1 championship. The PA playing taking care of business, and they certainly have so far of the Red Raiders today. 48-0 with 9:10 to go in the third quarter. Now, the referees will stop this before it can get started. I think the Red Raiders have come offside on their kick coverage. And they'll march it back 5 yards and do it again.
Hey, keep in mind,
We have an encroachment on the kicking team. 5-yard penalty. Repeat the kick.
think about it, Jack. Paulsboro, with this win today, will be 31-8 in the playoffs.
Incredible.
This will be their 13th sectional title, and again, since the advent of sectional play in 1975. And along the way, they've had some great players. Kevin Ross, who played 14 years in the NFL. Glenn Howard, the head coach here, was a tremendous player here. Went on to Minnesota, played in the USFL. Flipper Anderson, who had a long NFL career, went to UCLA. Kevin Harvey, who a lot of people think is the best player ever to play in South Jersey, then went to Temple, is now playing in one of the arena leagues. I mean, the list has gone on and on. Chester Cooper. Just been a great, great list of players here at Paulsboro.
This is a short kick, and Lodino doesn't field it. He'll have to pick it up. He does it. It goes out at the 1 yard line. Boy, I tell you, we've seen just about every strange thing that can happen. Marc Lodino, a pretty good return guy. In fact, he has 4 touchdowns returned on kickoffs this year, but he lets this one go out of play at the 1. I mean, it's all going backwards for Gloucester today. Now there's a flag on the play. And I think we've got illegal procedure.
The ball, one untouched out of bounds, will be placed on the 35-yard line, first down.
I thought that Lodino touched it down near the 1 because we didn't see any flags, and that's why I was saying I was curious as to why he let it go out of play. You saw Lodino go to the sideline with his arms out like, I never touched it, and he was right. Watch this. I thought maybe right at the end, Mark. And no, there you see. He lets it go. You're right. Well, he made a great play, is what he did. And that'll stand as my apology to him as he watches the tape. Anyway, I thought from our angle it looked like maybe right at the end he touched the ball.
Jack, Ken Jones, there you see him, is in now, and he relieved last week when O'Donnell got dinged a little bit, and he threw well. He completed 8 passes against Gloucester.
And they're going to ask him to probably pass the ball a lot. Here's Blankenship, and one of the dramas in this one will be coming up probably on Blankenship's next carry. He's 1 yard shy of 2,000 for the season after this run here.
And again, he's looking to be the first Camden County runner to do that. And when you think about guys like Mike Rozier, Ron Dane, Todd McNair, there have been a lot of great backs in Camden County.
Second down. And they'll give it right back to Blankenship, looking for some room. He's got the room. And he has crossed over that threshold. Unfortunately, he's in a little threshold of pain right now as he remains on the ground. He gets the yard he needed to go over the 2,000 mark right there.
They're going to have to do more to get him out. He's a tough kid.
He's been a workhorse to this afternoon, as you can see, with the 21 carries. He needed 79 yards to get to 2,000, and he hits it on that carry. Jones will look to throw. It's off the receiver and picked off. Coming up with the football. No, now they say no catch. Preston Paulson, I thought, had it momentarily. It did go through his hands. Bounced off the tight end that time.
Well, Paulson has been one of those guys that has done just about everything for Paulsboro this year and performed in anonymity, but he's been a tremendous defensive back.
Ball's at the 47 and on 4th and 3. They're going to try to convert this thing. Jones with a hard count that time. And they draw him off sides. And so that'll work just as well as anything else that Gloucester has done today and pick up a first down.
Encroachment on the defense. 5 yards, first down.
Just the 5th first down for the Lions of this ball game.
Jack, by the way, Scott Hillman coming back into the game, the leading receiver for this Gloucester team. He missed off training camp. You know why? He was playing for the American Legion champion, World Series champion Brooklawn team. He was a great relief pitcher for that team.
1st and 10 for the Lions. Red Raiders show a little pressure on Dino running with the football, and he gets to the 45. A pickup of about 2. And Blankenship, by the way, still shaken up and not back in the lineup after crossing over that big threshold. By the way, not only does he have 2,000 yards this year, but he, with that run moments ago, has now 3,000 yards, 3,002 yards rushing in his career. Right now he's out of the ball game, and Londino remains in at tailback. 2nd down. Jones to throw over the middle. Again, they were looking for the tight end, but the ball just out a little bit too far for Zifos to come over and make the catch.
The thing about Jones, Jones is only a junior this year too, and Leon Harris has said that that ball overthrown, that Jones and O'Donnell are going to go in there and battle for that quarterback job next year. O'Donnell taking most of the snaps this season.
So the Lions with a 3rd down, just 2 of 11 this afternoon in 3rd down conversions. Londino started in motion, now set as a blocker. Jones firing it out, and the ball is broken up. Once again, Preston Paulson in coverage. Jones was trying to thread something into double coverage over there, and that one was knocked away.
Again, Paulson. The other thing is the Gloucester receivers have not been open very much, and that's just a credit to the secondary of Paulsboro. We talked about Sharper, Giles, Paulson, Revels.
Single back formation this time. 2 receivers to the right, going for Londino. He had it and couldn't reel it in. Might have had a first down, but this one falls, and they'll turn it over on downs. We'll be back in just a moment. 48-0 as Paulsboro takes over on offense. As the defense holds, they get it back on downs and give it to Redmond, who is rarely this afternoon caught behind the line of scrimmage. That time the defensive play made by Sean Green.
We're very impressed with Sean Green, number 72. He's made a lot of big plays for this Gloucester team at linebacker.
I want to give an assist that time, however, to Joe Hartzell, who really clogged up Redmond momentarily, and that allowed Green to come over and make the stop. Loss of 4 on the play. Play action pass, and wide open over the middle is Gary Conquest. Second catch of the day for the tight end, playing in place of Mendenhall. He's got a first down into Gloucester territory at the 45-yard line.
Well, that's Paulsboro. Despite Mendenhall not being in, doesn't abandon its game plan. It's thrown, as you mentioned, a couple times here to Conquest. By the way, Jack, Dorian Bryant, the great running back for Kingsway, was here at Paulsboro last year, went to Don Bosco Prep, then came here after the football season. Could you imagine what Paulsboro would have been like with him? Another weapon like that? You might have needed a few footballs then.
I was going to say, I don't know how you would have broken the time up, but that would have been a nice problem to have. Here's Redmond, a good cut to the outside, hanging on for dear life. The ball comes loose. Who's got it? I think the Lions may have recovered, and they have. Vince Londino comes up with a fumble recovery for the Gloucester Township, for Gloucester Lions.
Redmond very shifty, but as you see that time, number 45, Dan Welsh, was the one that really knocked it out of his arms. I'll tell you what, Gloucester to me is still playing and running hard on defense. And that's what you want to see out of a team, especially in a situation like this.
That's the second turnover of the day. They were not able to capitalize on the first with the Lions. Let's see what they can do here with the ball in their own territory, deep once again at the 30-yard line. Jones will roll out this time, takes a step up and fires and has a receiver open. It's Hillman for a first down out across the 40 to the 43.
Hillman came into the game 13 carries, 238 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And as we said, for a guy that had no training camp because he was in Yakima, Washington, playing in the American Legion World Series for the World Series champion Brooklyn team, he's done a great job for this squad. Had a big touchdown reception in the playoff win over Gloucester, Jack.
First completion, good for 13 yards for Ken Jones. The Lions have a first down. Again, some pressure shown, and I think perhaps the Red Raiders may be a little too aggressive that time. Let's see about the flag.
Dead ball. False start on the offense, 5 yards, repeat first down.
Well, that's why they were too aggressive. Somebody jumped. Coaches have got to be very pleased about the effort today from their team. I'll tell you, the Red Raiders have come out and executed just about every phase of this game to perfection. Just the second penalty for the Lions. But it costs them 5 yards and sets up a 1st and 15. Blankenship's back in the ball game. And he gets almost all that penalty yardage back. A pickup of about 4 for Blankenship.
Again, for a guy 170, he does run between the tackles. They're not letting him bump out of there and get outside today, and that's been a key. He had that one big 31-yard run, but other than that, it's really been the Paulsboro defense here.
22 carries, 85 yards for Blankenship. And the touchdown maker for Gloucester has been kept out of the end zone, as has everybody else for the Lions today so far. 48-0 Paulsboro. Again, pressure from the Red Raiders. Jones has single coverage and had Hillman, but overthrew the football.
I thought Jones thought Hillman was going to the outside. Hillman broke back to the inside, and of course, he had Lionel Sharper on him, and that's always tough. So he threw that ball to the outside, Jack, and Hillman, I thought, was going to run in the inside. Maybe a little miscommunication there.
Boy, that could have been interesting had he hit Hillman in stride on the inside.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, perhaps a little confusion. 3rd and 11 upcoming now for the Lions. They'll put 2 receivers to the bottom of your screen, and Jones will look that way. He's going long, going downfield. The ball thrown up for grabs and tipped away back there. It was Revels who made the tip, but both Revels and Paulson had coverage downfield for Paulsboro.
And Jones had Billy Damas, number 50, right there in his face, and that made him throw the ball a little quicker too. Damas, another one of those fine players for Paulsboro that you don't always hear about, but he's been so vital to this team's success.
Now, besides for the fact that it's 48-0, do you really think that Gloucester wants to get in punt formation again today? I think they'll only do it if they have to.
Well, we'll get to that. Andrew Thorne was their punter. He was hurt on that first punt, and then Beauchamps had to do it.
They're going to go for a 4th and 11, and again, the 4th down conversion. They're now 0 for 4 today, and the Red Raiders will come back out on offense. The reference, if you weren't with us for our first half, as you take a look at this incomplete pass, if you weren't with us for our first half, they had 3 punts blocked, did Gloucester, which directly led to 3 scores. And another one was almost, they had 5 punts, and 3 out of the 5 were blocked. The 4th one was nearly blocked. So it's been a nightmare on special teams for Gloucester today. The Red Raiders come back on offense, getting the ball on the 42-yard line of Gloucester. Inside handoff, DeTono's got it, and he is inside the 30-yard line to the 27 on a big pickup, as he's getting action here in the second half as a backup fullback and doing a nice job.
Well, what they did was they had Redmond back there as a potential option pitch, so Gloucester had to play for that. Instead, DeTono took it up the middle and gained big yards.
1st and 10 for Paulsboro. This time Redmond in the slot with 2 receivers on the same side. Little confusion in the backfield this time. Somehow DeTono ended up with it. That was a, I don't know if that was going to be an option play, Mark, with maybe a read that time by Funk, but whatever. It wasn't pretty anyway.
Looked like Funk wanted to take the ball out and DeTono wanted it.
Worked for 4 yards anyway, so it's 2nd and 7. Redmond has it, and he's got a hole over the left side. Finally caught up there by Sean Green. Green just kind of lassoed him to the ground. I thought Redmond had an initial hole here, but...
Yep. You have to be impressed with his upper body strength, though, don't you? And there's, again, we talked about number 72 for Gloucester, Sean Green. He's had a fine game, but he was holding on for dear life that time.
It's 3rd and 4 now for the Red Raiders. Down to 2 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Funk will look to throw, and he's got an open receiver. The spin move put on there by Yamin Johnson, and Johnson works his way down to the 5-yard line.
And Yamin Johnson's just a freshman, and they are very high on him at Paulsboro. They think he's going to be one of those typical Paulsboro playmaker type kids.
It's a good move on Jonathan King that time.
That was his 7th reception of the season, Jack, but he's going to make a lot of big plays before his career is over here.
They mark the ball at the 6-yard line where it's 1st and goal. DeTono now goes into the slot for the Red Raiders, and they give to Redmond the lone back. Redmond caught immediately. In fact, he may be thrown for just a little loss on the play. And they do push it back just a yard, so a loss of a yard on the carry for Redmond, and it will be 2nd and goal.
They're putting Mendenhall in the game now, Jack, which is interesting. We talked about him having there he is, 45 right into your screen. And Mendenhall had the arthroscopic surgery 2 weeks ago, And now they're lining him up at tight end. And the crowd giving him a big ovation.
First time we've seen Mendenhall today. Now Funk will try to take off, and he is caught. Thrown back for a loss at the 10-yard line. Again, it's Green, this time with help from Jason King.
Jason King has been very, very active here today. And Mendenhall's coming out. They wanted him in just for one play. He's going to come out of the game now, and I think it's a nice gesture. I know the University of Maryland is one of the schools that he's looking at. He wants to play football. He also could have offers in wrestling.
3rd and goal, the ball back at the 10-yard line. There again, the option, the no pitch. Funk in trouble, and he loses the football, and look out. Here it comes the other way, and it's Green being chased by Redmond. I think Redmond will win the foot race here, and he does. But a fumbled recovery by Green, who's had an outstanding defensive day here today.
Well, Jack, that's 2 touchdowns Redmond has now saved.
And there is a flag on the play.
Here it is. And again, Green has really played strong. As he just strips it out of his hand. There you see it. And he's going the other way.
This fumble recovery by Green is the last play of the 3rd quarter. We'll sort out the flag and be back
on
with
the
our
return. We have a
here's the
live
flag
ball,
now.
personal foul on White. We're going to go 15 yards, and we're going to have an untimed down.
So it's an untimed down. We will not take a break here because the penalty cannot end on a penalty. I mean, the quarter cannot end on a penalty.
Well, let's see if we can see this personal foul. That's just great hustle. I'll tell you, Green has played one heck of a game here today. And how about Redmond? Redmond, remember he stopped Blankenship when Blankenship looked like he could score? That is great hustle by Redmond. And you might want to take a play off here or there. You're up 48, but Redmond chasing him down. That's a great job.
Now there's Green, and those linemen look for a little error by the time they get to the sideline. There you see the 3rd penalty called on the Lions, and we will have an untimed down. There's no time left on the clock here in the 3rd. Blankenship will get the call on the carry, and carry for 2 or 3, and that will officially do it for the 3rd quarter of play. Paulsboro on their way to another championship. They lead it 48-0. We'll be back with the 4th quarter right after this. We're set for the 4th quarter of the South Jersey Group 1 championship. Paulsboro in control of this one, looking for their 13th title since the advent of the playoffs in '75. They lead it 48-0. I'm Jack Hibbard along with Marc Narducci. Gloucester with a 2nd down. Just across the 50-yard line. Again, the slant pass is incomplete. They were trying to feed the ball to Ian James that time.
Jack, again, that could have been a catchable ball, but the coverage Sharper had on him. And this is a tough route, these slants. I mean, he was right there.
So it's 3rd down now after the incomplete. Ken Jones, the backup quarterback, will feed to Londino, and Londino's got some room. He's got a 1st down as he gets to the 40-yard line, but we'll have to wait and see about this. There was a flag thrown back in the backfield.
Great blocking by Chiotti. Look at him up there to give him that initial hole. And Londino, you'd have to think, Jack, could probably be the feature back in this offense next year. He's back.
We have a legal formation on the offense. Only 6 men on the line, 5 yards. You replay the down.
Well, that'll wipe out a 1st down. And bring up 3rd and long.
There's Jeff Parry bringing into play. And Parry with 9 receptions coming into the game. Again, we said this team doesn't throw a lot. In the past, Gloucester has thrown. Quarterbacks such as Kevin Bolden were there. They went to the air.
Well, they'll probably have to do it here on 3rd and long. Jones with some pressure and does get away initially, but it was enough of a spin around put on him by number 40, Greg Lopez. And that will result in a big loss.
Wow, Lopez just got enough of them that time. And Jack, as much as they probably don't want to do it, it looks like they are going for it.
Second sack now for Paulsboro, and it is 4th down and eternity. They've got to get the ball all the way to the 42 of Paulsboro. Slant in pass, Hillman's got it. He's got a shot, and because the secondary was able to play way back, he will come up about 2 yards shy of the 1st down.
Yeah, Revel's making a nice tackle there on Hillman.
Yeah, they made sure he wasn't going to get these extra yards.
I think Hillman's had, as we said, has had a fine season, and we certainly look forward to seeing him in the baseball season on the mound for the Lions.
Well, Mark, you mentioned it early. Paulsboro is able to take Gloucester out of their game early in this one. If the Lions are going to be successful, they would have had to have been able to pass the ball. And as you mentioned, it's something they don't do a lot of. I mean, they only average 4 or 5 passes a game. Today, just 5 of 19 in the passing department. Ditano with the carry from fullback for the Red Raiders. He gets across the 45 to about the 47.5-yard line.
Well, Jack, when you have a secondary, as we see him running very hard, Ditano there, when you have a secondary that can blanket receivers the way Paulsboro's done today, I mean, you're a hard team to move on. That's why they're only allowing 8.8 a game.
Second down after the run by Ditano. We'll go right back to him again, and this time he barely gets to the line of scrimmage. Ditano was almost sawed in half, and he is hurt. I think his legs were pinned underneath him, and then he took a big hit, and he is really hurting on the ground. That's a shame. You heard, I think, the crowd react to the big hit, and there's nothing like being pinned on the ground and then taking a lick up top, and that's what it looked like happened. We won't completely speculate here, but obviously after that play, he was in a great deal of pain.
Well, if there's anything that can mar this victory, it's this injury, and of course Beverly, as we saw him on crutches earlier, hurt near the end of the first half for Paulsboro. Jack, when you think about it this year, Paulsboro has had really exactly one close game, and that was that overtime win over Woodbury. Other than that, it's pretty much been Route City.
Yeah, and you know what? Both of these teams have experienced that this year, Mark. I mean, there were a couple, just two games, and then, of course, the loss that Gloucester had. But in only 3 of their 11 games did they really have any competition. There's a look at Beverly, who was hurt earlier in this ball game, pads off, and, of course, he's got the rest of the day off. And now the second-string fullback is also hurt. Now, Ditano looks like he's a little bit better shape, though, as he is walking off on his own power.
That's good to see. That is good to see.
Mark, how would you like to be Gloucester? I mean, it's good news, bad news. Congratulations, you're in the South Jersey Group 1 Championship. That's the good news. The bad news is you're going against Paulsboro. And how about this stat? In their meetings in the playoffs, they've been outscored by the Red Raiders 144-28. So all of their meetings, if you look at them, been a little lopsided. They had the 114-6 game. Here's Sharper with a catch. his first of the day.
Nice tackle by Hagan that time. 4th down here, they're yelling to go for it.
I think they may. We'll see.
Doesn't matter?
I don't think so. 8:45 to go, 48-0. And they are going to go for it on 4th and 3. I think your feeling is right, Mark. Even if they come up with a stop here, they feel like, and it won't matter anyway, because Redmond's got the first down and maybe more. Look out, open field in front of them. This is all Isaac Redmond, a race to the end zone. Touchdown, I believe. Yes, it is. "48 yards, and Redmond did it after a reverse field." Well, it's just great talent.
Keep in mind, Jack, he's a junior. So it seems like Redmond's been around forever, but teams are going to have to deal with him again next year.
185 yards today, his 3rd touchdown of the afternoon. He's got 30 for the season and over 1,400 yards now rushing this year. Funk the extra point attempt, and another one that will miss the mark, but as Mark said, it doesn't make a whole lot of difference. There you see it, 54-0. The Red Raiders with the lead. We have a penalty flag, so Funk may have another opportunity here. I think we've got roughing the kicker, as Funk seems to be trying to shake off some bugs. There's a look at the effort from Redmond today.
We have roughing the kicker. We're going to go half the distance and retry.
So they will get another attempt at it, as you heard. And another flag on the extra point attempt.
Dead ball foul, so.
Encroachment, dead ball, encroachment. On the defense, half the distance, replay.
So how about 3rd time's a charm? We'll see. Funk will get another chance. This one is good. So add another digit. It's 55-0, Paulsboro. 8:18 to go in the ball game.
Jack, how about being Gloucester? You win 10 games and you're going to have no titles to show for it. But it's easy to say this is obviously a really disappointing day for Gloucester, but it's been a good season for the Lions. And you can't lose track of those 10 wins either, even though they're disappointed at today. And obviously disappointed last week when they lost the Classic Division title and that 40-20 loss to Gloucester. This has still been a heck of a season for this team.
Well, it seems to get tough for the Lions when they get to the big one. This is their 4th time at a sectional final, and looks like it's going to be 0-4.
There it is again, Redmond. Well, Jack, it doesn't take a lot of analysis. Paulsboro's bigger, faster, stronger.
Okay.
And when you have those three, you're going to beat teams. So. And Woodbury's probably kicking itself right now, saying, you know, we had these guys 20-13 in the 4th quarter of a playoff game, and if Funk doesn't make an extra point kick, it's done. Mm-hmm. So it shows you that now we're seeing that they're winning by 55, but if they didn't get that one PAT by Funk, Woodbury would be playing in the sectional final. How about that? Sending it into overtime, and then Redmond scored his 4th touchdown, and they won 26-20. So,
well, at the moment, that's seeming that seems to Paulsboro like It was a long, long time ago. Bocep will get to return this one. He comes straight up the middle. Across the 20 to the 25-yard line where the Lions will try it again on offense. 8:12 to go. And I think for both, I was going to say if you're Paulsboro, you can't wait for that 8:12. But I think if you're Gloucester, you probably can't wait for the 8:12 to expire either.
Well, for Gloucester now, they're going to put in some of the younger people. And I still think Gloucester's going to be a serious factor next year in the Classic. And I expect Gloucester to be back in the playoffs. No, they haven't won the big one, but they've been to a lot of them, and I think a lot of teams would trade places with them.
Oh, yeah, and as you mentioned, Leon Harris has done an outstanding job with this program. Play action pass thrown behind Zerfuss that time.
Jack, though, Paulsboro, with this win today, 103-7 over the last 10 years.
Fairly impressive.
Wow. There's Tom Curl coming out of the game, number 68 for Paulsboro, and getting a nice hand. And he's a 4-year varsity guy, all South Jersey last year. And remember, he missed his sophomore year with that knee injury.
Second down. Jones will keep it and try to get around the end this time. Forget about that. Just barely gets back to the line of scrimmage. And the Lions will be looking at 3rd and long. Well, they're trying a couple of different wrinkles here, but pretty much the same result.
Yep.
A lot of curtain calls going on right now. There's Tom Curl, who left moments ago. Curl, of course, was an all-South Jersey player a year ago and has had an outstanding year for this Red Raiders team again this year.
Yep, should be again.
3rd down. Jones sprints out, runs into his pursuit and overthrows Hillman for an incomplete.
Jack, that time Greg Lopez, number 40 of Paulsboro, was double-teamed and still almost got to Jones. Watch 40 fighting off the double team there. Look at him at the top of your screen, and he still puts on pressure there.
On 4th down, they're going to try to convert this for a first. I told you I didn't think we'd see another punt formation out of Gloucester today. I mean, the first half was just disastrous for them. They'll go for it here on 4th down. They're 0 for 4th downs today, but this time I think they've got the first. As a good job by Jones to thread the needle to Ian James. And they do mark it out, I think, for enough yardage for the first down.
Jack, I think it would be. It really is. And look at the gun that Jones has on there, leading him there on that quick slant. I think it would be inaccurate for people to suggest that the return team is the reason that is the only reason that Gloucester is not going to win this game. I mean, Paulsboro won on all facets of the game here today. That was just one of them.
It wouldn't be 55-0, but it wouldn't have changed the result. Right. That's for sure.
It might be 40-0.
Again, the same play to James, and again, almost the same result. They get out near midfield and fall just a couple of yards short of the first down. Jones now 4 of 14 as he's had to fire the ball a lot in relief. There's a look at James. 2nd down at about 2. Carry across midfield to the 47-yard line.
That's Lope that time coming in now. A lot of people there. You see 32. Ooh, really running hard, bouncing off there. And by the way, Jack, this just as we said Gloucester will be competitive this next year, Paulsboro is not going to stray too far from being at or near the top either.
First down, Lope again with the call. Lope with some extra yards, and he's off and running. Lope through traffic, headed to the corner and caught from behind, but it'll be a 1st and goal for Gloucester.
See, now that's the difference in these two teams. Paulsboro has the speed. Looked like Terrence Rothmiller, number 29, is the one that chased him down. 3 times now, Paulsboro's been able to chase down Gloucester runners from behind.
Hard tackle here from behind, and Lope shaken up after this tackle. He's still down on the field out there. So there's a look at Lope, who I think got caught a little awkward after he got tackled hard from behind that time by Rothmiller, the sophomore who really raced down to make the play. 5.5 minutes to go here in the ball game. The outcome of this one long decided. Here's a look again at the end of this play. Watch the tackle.
Rothmiller, by the way, he's trying to strip the ball there. Oh, there you see.
Oh, the ball came out, yeah.
Wincing.
And the ball came out, but only after he had been ruled down. Now, Beauchamp, I think, will move back to tailback now as Lope goes to the sideline. Here is the carry by Beauchamp, and Beauchamp's got a touchdown. So Gloucester won't be shut out anyway. They score on the touchdown and make it a 55-6 ball game. Now what you're seeing there is the end of one of your favorite rituals, Mark. During that touchdown run, and I'm not sure that was the right place chosen for by the players, but during that touchdown run, they dumped a bucket of water on the coach. Here's a look at the touchdown. Let's give some time to the Lions who deserve it here. The touchdown by Beauchamp.
Absolutely. Beauchamp shaking off an arm tackle earlier on, making it to the end zone.
2-point conversion attempt. Hillman is overthrown, and so the score will remain 55-6.
Yeah, Jack, you know my feelings on throwing water on coaches. People say it's a tradition, so's mischief night. I mean, that doesn't mean it's a good tradition.
Pretty good analogy. Yeah, and I'm sure Coach Howard will appreciate being soaking wet for the next 5 minutes of playing time. There he is, getting a towel.
They're just lucky it's 72.5 degrees out.
Can you imagine?
Can you imagine if it was a regular December day?
You know, the other thing that's a problem too, Mark, and I hate to pick apart something that I know they wanted to use just as a celebration, but there is a large amount of ice. It won't last for long, but a large amount of ice on the field right now.
Right.
And that's not a great thing either for playing. There's a look at Funk, who's done a great job leading this team all season long and had another good day today. There's a look at the remnants of the celebration.
By the way, Sharper standing back there to return this kick. He's averaging 39 a kick. He's returned 4 for touchdowns. So maybe if I'm Gloucester, I would just squib it and not get it anywhere near Sharper.
Well, to tell you what kind of day it's been, this is only the second kick of the day. And they now will pitch it to Sharper, and look out, he's got some room. He tried to jump over a player.
Wow.
But the tackle was made, and the Red Raiders will send the offense out. 5:02 to go. It's 55-6. We'll be back after this. Earl Pearson now in at quarterback for the Red Raiders. And he'll hand off to Dennis Nelson, the junior halfback.
But by the way, on a lot of teams, Dennis Nelson would be the premier back, Jack. 496 yards, 11 touchdowns. He's averaging 8.3 a carry. And when Redmond got hurt earlier in the year, Nelson came in and did an outstanding job. And there are about 90+% of the teams in South Jersey. Nelson would not only be starting, but be the featured back.
Well, he gets another carry here. He had some significant playing even in last week's game with 6 carries, and now gets action here in the final 4 minutes of play. Wholesale changes being made for this offensive team as you take a look again at Nelson's run. Picked up a yard there. It'll be 3rd and 9. Well, Mark, it's been an interesting season. We're now, as we said, at the last day of the season. Any surprises to you this year in South Jersey?
I think the team we saw last week, Woodrow Wilson, I mean, everyone knew they had as much Division I talent as anybody, but they were 3-7 last year, Jack.
Dead ball, encroachment.
There you get the call.
5 yards against the offense. Repeat 3rd down.
And nobody really knew. Now, if they win today, they'll quadruple their win total from a year ago. That's an unbelievable feat. Other than that, I mean, this has not been a season, let's face it, of major surprises.
Been some nice stories, though. I think about Ty Belford and Willingboro and the terrific season that Chimeras had in Ty's last season. You know, South Jersey, Mark, has lost some quality coaches this year.
Well, 300-win coaches, Ty Belford, Bill McDowell of Pemberton, and Bob Cleary, who coached against this Gloucester team last week, his final game. So you're right.
And you know what? More than that, more than the win totals, those 3 guys, 3 quality men. I mean, you go around South Jersey, and we've done a lot of games. I don't think anybody has anything bad to say about those 3 guys.
Nah, no question. Nor do they about that gentleman,
no.
Jack. I think before it's all said and done, I don't know how long Glenn Howard plans on coaching, but no matter how long he does, I think he's already etched himself in the history books as arguably the greatest coach ever in South Jersey.
You can see the starters getting the rest of the day off. Mendenhall checked in for a moment, and then maybe they've thought the better of it. I think it's great to give a guy an honor, but you remember this guy had knee surgery 2 weeks ago, and can you imagine getting hurt in a 55-6 game? I mean, it just wouldn't be worth it.
Not only that, he has his scholarship possibilities. He's also a great wrestler, so he's going to get ready for the wrestling season.
Here's a run from Ryan White, and White is sent flying to the ground on the tackle by Andrew Myers. Both teams now playing with primarily their reserves.
Doesn't matter who Paulsboro puts in there, does it?
No,
they seem to be able to carry the ball.
Now we're going to get a rare occurrence here, however, Mark. Paulsboro is actually going to punt the ball, I believe. They'll send Funk in to do that, so he doesn't get completely the rest of his day off.
Funk, by the way, has had a nice year for this team.
High kick, not very deep.
You know, Paulsboro's scheme, Jack, they don't want the quarterback to make a lot of mistakes, and he's really run this offense efficiently, done a good job defensively and kicking. And that gentleman's had a great game, too,
Boy,
Zach
sure
Aaron.
Has. Yep. Well, I mean, you could go right down the list. I think everybody in red gets a game ball today. Been a pretty big team effort from Paulsboro this afternoon. Gloucester with the ball at the 25-yard line. 2.5 minutes left to go in this South Jersey Group 1 championship. But to be honest with you folks, this game was decided in the first quarter. It's 55-6. Jones still in there, quarterback for the Lions. Beauchamp's got it. He runs over traffic. He's got some more room. Funk makes a shoestring tackle to save a touchdown.
How about Beauchamp coming in and getting a couple of nice runs for this Gloucester team? Yeah, we talked about maybe next year Londino being the feature back. Maybe it could be Beauchamp as well. There should be some pretty good competition in training camp next year at Gloucester. As I said, I fully expect this team to be back in the playoffs next year.
Little spin trap, and again, they'll go right up the middle.
Jack, if people don't realize really how much this program struggled before Leon Harris got here as a head coach. As we said, 10 straight losing seasons. They won only a total of 5 games the previous 3 years before he got here.
And can I say something, Mark? 10-2 A lot can be said about the competition, the league they play in. Still a great accomplishment. A terrific season.
No question. No question. How many teams can win 10 games in South Jersey?
And how many teams are home today instead of playing? I mean, there is something to all that, and I think when all is said and done, a 55-6 lopsided score hurts, but you got to remember the good things about what you've done, and certainly Gloucester has had a good year. Now to the final 1 minute of this one, and the final minute of football in this season. He'll pitch it to Beauchamp, and he'll come across the left side. A lot of room out there right now as he runs through traffic, stays on his feet, and has another first down. And if you're in a white shirt, you don't care what the score is right now. You want to do everything you can to try to get some more points on the board. Beauchamp in reserve has done a pretty good job. Picked up now over 50 yards in a reserve role. Gets the ball again here, gets caught from behind, or else that'd have been 6, but the Lions have a 1st and goal inside the 5. Let's see if they run another play. We're down to 20 seconds to go.
Let's see if they call timeout.
Yeah, that would be interesting, wouldn't it? I really don't think that Leon Harris will do that. I think he'll allow his team to get a playoff if they can, and that's the way it looks.
He might want to try to throw a pass, and if it's incomplete, that'll stop the clock.
Well, let's see what happens. Down to 6 seconds. This will be it for the ball game. They'll give it to Beauchamp. He dances through traffic, gets caught. The ball game's over. The Paulsboro Red Raiders have won their 13th sectional title in just 16 years. How about that? Or rather, 26 years. What an amazing feat, and what an amazing game today. The final score, the Paulsboro Red Raiders 55, Gloucester 6. For my partner, Marc Narducci, I'm Jack Hibbard. So long, everybody.